packed this morning for you all. She'll go, hi, there she is. And also reminding you, Tracy, if you'd like to record this session, we did say it wasn't going to be recorded, but I just don't want any of the WOW women being behind this incredible cohort of 9 of us. This is the gift that everyone needs to have, as you know. So let's make a... Sam's going to kill me. We don't ever record anything except for this because of the WOW women. So if you'd like to record there, let me know. Yep, you're all good. Great. So thanks, Tracy, for the intro. Really, guys, girls, all that means is I've got about 26 years experience, started young, in these global and also blue chip organizations. And all I've done is I've brought my global brand strategies, the tools, the insights of all of those years back into my sweet spot now. And that is helping women and people, but mostly women, in their own businesses, articulate their value and monetize their knowledge. It sounds pretty simple. Why me, why this, why now? I take you back to the source. So my organization is called Brand True North, and it does what it says on the can. Take you back to that true north. And anyone knows when you walk off your true north, when you really, really know that true north, you know when you're going a little off course, you know when that client isn't really great for you, and that's okay. We're not all going to be for everyone. So it comes back to what's our source and being source inspired. And all that means is peeling back the layers of everything we've learned about leadership and business and coming into what's our value in the world? How do we show up? What do we love? Because I'd rather stitch a teddy bear in my left eye than show up every day and do things that I don't love or don't understand why. So today is going to be a little bit of a taster on let's get in under your why, a little bit of fun. And your workbooks are already, it's in the chat as well. Couple of things today, you do you. So whatever you're thinking and feeling, want to say, please come off mute. I love chatting, and this is going to be an all-in. I'm going to be asking you a bucket load of questions, and we're going to go around the room twice today. So they're all the sticky pieces. You've got your workbooks. Either there's 3 things you can do when you come to putting some of these things into your workbooks. You've either printed them out, if you're Tracy, you've got an editable version, which doesn't mean you can eat it. I was going through that with my daughter last night going, no, editable means you can edit it, not eat it. Then I realized I'm not saying editable. And then finally, just take a look at the slide that's going to be up there for you and just simply write or reflect. There's no right or wrong way. We just get this out. Give it a red hot go, try it. It does work. It's probably about 6,000 people I've taken through this. And we're still working, as Tracy said, with her in the cohort that is in a membership. So why shift happens? Well, because it has. I don't know about everyone here, but I'm sure I speak for everyone here. The last 12 months has been like no other. I had one of those memories come up today in Facebook. I was on Heron Island. I was leaving Heron Island just before the borders closed down this time last year in Queensland. We got out. We could have always got out. That's no problem. But we're on Heron Island. If you've ever been on a Heron Island, there ain't no anything. There's no Wi-Fi, there's no radio, there's no television, and there's no newspapers. So we were a little bit disconnected and in a bubble, which was absolutely fine. But what I did know on that island is that I had to prepare to do what I do 100% virtually. I knew that I'd have to help cohorts of people in business also to adapt to a virtual world. And so I was scrambling around far out, what's my value going to be as we look down this pandemic and when everyone has to lead through uncertainty. And that was my moment of shift happens. And I had to go back and I had to unlock my own potential. We did pivot our business and what we do right in time to help people through the pandemic and been working with them ever since. I feel that if I was too slow to do that, or if I was trying to do that now, might have missed the mark. So this is a perfect time as everyone's starting to free up. I'm actually in Sydney, so I'm not too far away from Thirl. I love that part of the country, but I also used to traveling to Brisbane, to Melbourne, everywhere before the pandemic. So, yeah. So what we're going to do is just go through a few slides of why me, why this, and why now, what we're looking ahead to. Then I've got some questions to ask around the room. So I'm just going to share my screen. I work on 2 screens, so forgive me there just to set you up so that I can see you on this side, and I've got the chat. Hey, there you go. Okay, won't be a moment. All right. You as the brilliant host, Tracy, I'm not able to share the screen again. 2 things. I'm really happy if you make me host. Oh no, I can share now. There you go. You'll see my tranquil water first. Then you'll see my screen. Awesome. I know my tech's working. So shift happens, why we're here. I'm here to help you unlock your potential, and what that looks and feels like as we navigate not just the new normal, we're bang in it. It's the next normal as well. How am I going to show up? How am I going to be relevant? But most of all, how am I going to articulate my value to myself first and then to others? You've got all these dot points. I'm going to throw that in. The one thing I did want to share with you is that I was an executive manager in Fin Services for over a decade. So I'm ASIC, RG146 compliant, and yep, I do my CPD hours every single year. So I've been doing that for 10 years, so sovereign debt is my friend. I don't profess to know as much as financial detail as yourselves, but I do understand the landscape. I've worked with financial planners and women in financial planning for many years. I speak at a lot of women in financial planning sessions as well, and women in super. So I'm kind of in there. I'm a wow woman as well. So this will be in your pack afterwards. So the question everyone has on their lips is, how do we unlock our potential? And Tracy, this is something we dived in beautifully with you. The first thing we did when we worked together, we don't get to do this today, but there's an invitation for you all to dip into the story you have to tell. Your potential and your value isn't in what you do. Your potential and your value is in how you do it and your unique narrative that no one else on this globe has. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in that as your coach for today. I'm interested in that as a person and a potential friend of you all. And I'm definitely interested in just that as I would be working with you if I was a potential client. I don't know about you, but how I go through this in cohorts. And I'd say to every cohort that I work with on articulating your value, just reflect a moment on what you do. I'm a brand strategist. How many of them are there in the world? Are there 10 or less? Are there 100 or less? 1,000, 10,000, a million, over a million. So there are brackets, working in numbers. I, for one, I'm one of over many, many million, I reckon, brand strategists. Over a million brand strategists, I'd say, but millions. I've got to stand out. What makes me different? I was working with the Ministry of Health last week, the Centre of Epidemiology and Evidence. I've been working with them for 2 years, and I was talking to one of the senior kind of health data reporter. I said, how many of you are there in the world? She went, oh, I don't know. And I said, well, over 100. She goes, oh no, there's probably 6 of us. I went, oh my goodness. And she was showing up saying, I'm just a health data reporting. She's not. And so really helping her with articulating her value and getting at that imposter syndrome out of her own way. Thinking about what we do here in Wow Women, we're probably one of a million as well. But it's not that, is it, Trace? It's the backstory. It's being the storyteller, which has really brought you into your fore as well, Tracy. So I know when you picture a storyteller, you're kind of that mythic figure by the campfire. You know, you think, oh, I'm not the life of the party. I just let other people do that. I'm not a novelist. Geez, I couldn't write a Hollywood play. It's not that at all. It's telling your own story. Who are you? That's what we're going to dive into. Some really interesting questions we never ask ourselves, and no one dare ask us, but I'm going to today. Is everyone cool with that? And if you don't want to, I am going to go around go around the room. And if you're not ready to answer, don't answer. Honestly, you do you, whatever you're comfortable with right now. So where do we start to approach our potential? Are we living our potential? How do we articulate our value? Well, this just really summarizes, and more for you to take away as a reminder of why we're doing this. Most people are vying for recognition, a promotion, business, exposure, talent, investor money. It's all the same. How do you stand out? And so no one else owns your value or your narrative. No one has trod the path that you've trod or have the experience you have to prove it. So fundamentally, people don't really care what you do. The credentials are all there. We wouldn't be able to show up if we weren't compliant. They're looking at you because people trust people. People buy from people, and people recommend and rave about people. Especially when we're women in finance, we are hot topics around any water cooler, around our school pickup, around a barbecue, a wedding, a mitzvah, anything. We are hot topics. Because if somebody is working with you and they're getting the results that they haven't got anywhere else because the way you do it, word of mouth is going to catch on fire. So that's where we're going to start today. So I want to, oh, here we go, my little tech. We'll go back. We're going to start with the business you're really in. So you've got 4 questions here. I'm going to just go around the traps and ask everyone here one question on here. And that's, what business are you really in? I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm not going to let Tracy go first. So are you okay if I just let you run and we don't have to go around? I'm not going to pick people out. Everyone's got to have a red hot go. But what business are you really in? Who wants to jump in?
I will.
Yeah.
I'm in the business of people.
Hey, and I know that Sam's noting all of these down, so we will share these back with you. Thanks, Alison. No right or wrong. Jenny, you're off mute.
I am. I'm in the business of growing people and growing opportunities for them.
Love it. Thanks, Jenny. Next off mute, just come off mute. Michelle.
Hi, I'm in the business of helping companies manage risk effectively.
Awesome. I've got questions every time someone says I'm in the business. I'm like, oh, okay, I've got to stop myself. Thanks, Michelle. Jackie.
I'm in the business of helping people solve problems.
Most financial services people are here to solve problems in logical ways. Isn't that right, Trace? Awesome. Thanks, Jackie. Bron, g'day.
Hi, I'm learning to be in the business of really actually telling stories. I'm learning how to be a writer.
Oh, literally.
Literally.
Fantastic. You're in the right place at the right time. What do you, and so stories about what? That give me some context.
Well, I've just written a family history book. So I want to get into historical fiction.
Got it. Fantastic.
And people's, I love telling the stories of people because everyone's got a story and they're all fascinating to me. I love telling people's stories.
Wonderful. So biographies.
Yes.
Love it. Thanks, Bron. Who's off next?
I'll go next.
Hey, Joanne.
How are you? I'm a women's business coach, so I don't sell coaching. I was going to say sell solutions. I don't like that word. I provide solutions. So I help women in business become high performers.
Oh, fantastic. By helping them get out of their own way, I'm sure. Got you. I love your background there. Is that a photo logo signature? Oh, no.
Re-energize your biz to live a life you love.
Thank you. Wonderful. I love it. Thanks, Joanne. Leanne, Sharon, Jenny, Rebecca, Rachel, Jacinta, Deb. Rachel.
Hi everyone, sorry I'm late to the party.
No, not at all.
I'm in the business of empowering people to be the best version of themselves, whether that's one-on-one, I'm a psychologist, but clients, or whether it's supervisees, people I'm training, or people I'm mentoring or coaching.
Fantastic. Thank you. Perfect. Marie. Oh, I've got you on mute there, Marie. That's all right.
There I
There
am.
you go. Hello.
Hello. I'm in the business of listening to people's stories and helping them achieve bucket list stuff.
Helping them achieve.
Bucket list stuff, you know,
Oh, fantastic.
in aged care.
Yeah, great, Marie. Thank you. You're the first person I've heard who does what you do. I think you'd be in that 1 of 10, I'm sure.
Who knows? I'm unique.
You are. Rebecca. G'day.
Hi.
Hi.
I probably don't fit in with anyone else. I'm just in the agriculture business.
Yep. So what do you do in the agriculture business, Beck?
We milk cows.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and so dairy?
Yes, dairy. Yeah.
Where are you?
Up near Cobram.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So you're in the business, you're in the business of delivering vital sustenance.
Essential.
Essential. And it is. If you're thinking of those core essential, it's 1% of our farmers who feed 99% of us. So you're not just in agriculture, my friend, at all. You're in, you are supplying vital nutrients to the rest of Australia.
True.
That's the business you're in.
Yes.
Love it. Thanks, Beck. Leanne.
Yes, I'm in the business of planning production of packaging, which is actually cans for the likes of Campbell's, SPC, infant formula, and many others.
Brilliant. So you're delivering brands, you're delivering world-renowned brands to those who love them.
Yeah, which has grown immensely through the COVID. Cans are back in fashion.
Cannot imagine, yeah. So again, delivering vital products from, they're world-renowned home-known brands. Far out. Thanks, Leanne. Deb.
Hi there. I'm sorry about my technical issues earlier on. I think I'm online.
It happens.
away from home, exactly. So look, I'm probably in the business of changing people's lives from their kitchen out, I guess, is how you could kind of put it. And then as a team leader in that space, just helping change those consultants' lives to, help them financially and professionally and personally.
So you've got two clients, you've got the team you manage. So your end client, you're in the business of solving flow. It's a beautiful flow that you probably give them. So you give them simplicity and flow.
Absolutely. I like that.
HDMI cable.
So I would also say that you give your team simplicity and flow.
Sorry, what was that? It cut out.
You also deliver to your team simplicity and flow and security.
Absolutely.
And I'd say that from the kitchen out as well, or anything around the home, it is flow, it's intention, and it's security. You feel safe in that environment, that it's not fragmented, and it's somewhere you always want to come home to.
Absolutely, I like that. Thank you.
Oh, Deb, I love your work. I need you and your team. Sharon, we've got Sharon, Jacinta and Jenny. Unless I had someone on the tram yesterday and I'm like, so what's your big story? And they're like, I'm on the tram. I'm like, Ixnay on the story, nay. Jacinta.
I work with Water Authority and in the business of ensuring reliability and redundancy so that when taps turn on, water comes out, and when toilets flush, it goes away.
That is, well, absolutely. That is, well, you're in the business of confidence, reliability and confidence. You've got confidence. You deliver confidence on tap. Love it. Thanks, Jacinta. Sharon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
I am staying off video today because
no, that's fine. You do you.
I'm actually sick and I'm sitting here in my PJs.
I absolutely love it. I'm in my shorts below this. Business up top, shorts down below.
Sharon, I'm like you too.
Oh, good. Well, no, not good. I'm sorry that you're sick, whoever that was, but yes, I didn't want to miss it, so I'm sitting here in my PJs.
No problem. What business are you in, Sharon?
I'm a lawyer, so I'm in the business of helping people solve their problems.
Oh, I'm just so yes. And there's one context further than that. What happens when you solve their problems, Sharon?
Oh, they usually love me until I send
You
them
give them peace of mind. You give them peace of mind and you assure them that whatever they're thinking and feeling is right.
Yep, okay.
Yeah. So to solve their problems, there's always possibly one more thing. And you just so what yourself and you go, so what if they've got their problem solved? What do they get as their nirvana? And it's for lawyers, it's peace of mind and confidence that they were feeling and thinking the right things.
Not excuse me. Not
That's
always.
all right. I'll let you go and sit there and soak it all in. Thanks.
Thanks.
Jenny.
Can you hear me?
I certainly can.
Okay, I'm in the business of solving people's computer problems.
Hey, so what happens when you solve their computer problems?
Well, we run a computer business, so every day it's different.
And what do they get when you solve their computer problems?
Well, they can recommunicate with everyone in the world.
So you're in the business
do their
of
business,
and reliable communication.
I guess so, yes.
And how you do that, your method is through the computer maintenance. But no, there's no mistake. You're definitely in the business of reliable and efficient communication.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Tell me more.
We do lots of different varied things. We do contract work. We see people off the street. We sell new and second-hand computers. So.
And again, that's solving
fix Facebook problems, fix phone problems, all sorts of things.
And all of that is that efficient, all of that is the efficient communication. Love it.
Yes, it's satisfying too, so that's good.
Yeah. Solving their problems. There's a lot of problem solvers here.
Yes.
Tracy, what business are you in?
Are you still talking to me, sorry?
Oh, sorry, no, Tracy.
No.
Got Jen? Thanks, Jenny.
Sorry, I was too busy looking at the waiting room to let everyone else in. The business I'm in is empowering women to live a life of choice.
Wow. And we go one context higher than that as well, is it's all people living with economic empowerment. So equal economic empowerment. Hello to everyone who has joined. You haven't missed a bit. We've just gone around the traps and just had a little play about what business we're really in. We're unlocking our potential today. So everyone who's joined, you can come on video or not. We've got another 20 minutes of power and then some Q&A. There is a workbook there. It's in the chat as well. And download that. You can do it as we go along. We're not going to do everything today. We're going to leave it with you, but we're going to do the essentials. So I'm going to move you back to screen 2. And I'm just going to share my screen. So one moment, please. Okay, just making sure that you can again see my workbook. Hey, all right. So where to start? You saw that we started what business we're really in, and you all nailed it. So the questions that we start asking ourselves, and these are questions for you to reflect on a little later. You'll get this pack, as well as the very next slide will go into the pack that you have. So thinking about, are you doing what you want to do? It all sounds like we're super passionate, which is fantastic. Why do you do what you do is the question we're going to tap into today. What business are you really in beyond your products and services? Today, we're going to tap into not your products and services, but your impact and your legacy. What impact you make and what legacy you'll leave. And how long have you been in the business you're really in? Now, that's a trick question. I know when I ask Tracy this, and I ask many people I work with, how long have you been in this business? So I am not able to turn off I've got a new system. I really need you, Jenny. In my new system, when I'm on Zoom, I'm not able to pause my notifications. So that's my daughter sending me a notification. So I wasn't going to stop my flow here, but you might see one or two. So what business are you in, or what business how long have you been in that business? When I spoke to Tracy, she's like, oh, about 10 years. And I said, and what did you do before that? It was in a very similar vein. Oh yeah, that's right. I was pretty much doing the same thing. We went right back to study. And before that, I've been in the business of communication, marketing, and branding for 26 years, all different iterations. But if you truly go back through the thread of the business you're really in, think about solving problems, think about giving peace of mind. I'm sure that you did that as a kid. I'm sure that's something that thread has run through, and we found that thread through Tracy as well. So these are questions that we can ponder, or I can work on with you at a later date, but they're really interesting to crack open our potential. Now, these are the ones we're really interested in today. The 4 steps to unlocking your potential. Seems pretty easy. Yeah, it is. Has anyone done their Ikigai? Anyone done Ikigai? Okay, so Ikigai is pretty much it's a Venn diagram with 4 circles, and the source map is inspired by that. And so we're going to put it in a professional sense. We're just going to simply look at what you're good at, what you sell, what excites you, and what problem you solve. Pretty simple. I'm not going to give you much more by design, not by default, much more instruction other than we're going to start, you've either got your piece of paper in front of you, or I'm going to keep this here, and I'm just going to ask you to silently, because I'm not going to sing to you, fill in these 2 pieces first. What are you good at? And I'll give you a hint, they're going to be your gifts. And what you're good at are the talents you're naturally born with. So if you can sing, is it music? What are the things that your friends and family keep asking you to do, even though you don't make money doing it? Can you cook? Can you organize wardrobes? Be really creative in this. And then on the other side is, what do you sell? It's usually what you master in. So this is what you sell, and it can be, I sell services to fix computers. We sell problem solving. You can be as creative here as possible. And so what we want at the end, you'll see your gifts and your mastery. Just do a brainstorm and then try and do a summary of what your gifts and your mastery is. So I think we just went through what business we're in, the mastery. Your mastery can be, Jenny, yours is, the mastery is solving computer problems to give effective communication. So it's not always easy. There's no right or wrong, prolific over perfect. And then once you're done on this one, we are going to move to what excites you. What are those passions? What do you love? It could be reading, dancing. It could be swimming. It could be anything. And then what problem do you solve? This is a really bit esoteric, a deeper one. I would ask it a different way. What does the world need from you right now? Or what problem do you solve in the world? A hint was a little bit about what business we're in. So that comes down to your purpose. So for the next 5 minutes, it is now about 1 past the hour, wherever you are. So we'll go till about 6 minutes, till 12 past the hour. So you can do this with your cameras on, cameras off. I'm going to stop talking at you. I'm here for questions in the chat, but I'm going to give you a little bit of peace and quiet for 6 minutes. And all we're going to do is these 4 questions. What are you good at? What do you sell? And try and summarize it. What excites you? And what problem do you solve? Before I go off air, and I'll give you till 13 past, because I just took up a minute. Has anyone got any questions that they would like to ask on just doing this quadrant? Everyone great? All right, have some fun with it as well. We've got about 3 minutes to go. If anyone's got any questions, please come off mute and let me know. as we start to wrap in that session. All right. Okay, as everyone comes back into the room, question, you can put your mic open or pop in the chat. How'd you find that exercise? How did we find it? Easy, hard? Has anyone done that before?
Done similar. It helped me think more rigorously about what I actually do.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit more forensic of not only what we do, but what value it adds. Yeah. Challenging. Yeah. Not easy to self-promote, Alison. I know. Just into challenging. Awesome. And I'm sure Tracy will also attest. It was challenging and just to think about what problem we solve or our purpose is really hard. How do you distinguish between passions and purpose? Well, passions are those interests. They're fleeting, probably more fleeting. Passion are very kind of self-oriented. It's what we want to do. Where purpose usually comes out of some rub, some unjust, some feeling of unease, something that's always been with you that gets louder and louder and louder as we get brilliantly more mature in our life. It's always there. It's long running. Can they be the same? I don't often see it. Passions and purpose are two different and opposing forces. They're the two sides of one coin. So it's really easy. It's really interesting when someone says, oh, my passion is, well, Tracy and I had the conversation. I said, what are you passionate about? She said, I'm passionate about empowering women. I said, that sounds like a selfless thing to do and something that you've done all of your life and something that is because there's unjust in the world and you're high justice. Yes. So we worked out that that's her purpose and we worked out what her passions were around that as well. Helps to redefine purpose. Yeah. How did everyone go on doing all the boxes and being able just to probably put a succinct piece in those 4 boxes below, just to be able to wrap in and succinctly name what your passions, your purpose, and also your gifts and mastery. Has everyone pretty much got something there? Or no? Awesome. Anyone really struggling with pulling their list down into a succinct sentence or sentence or words? Hey, Beck, all of them or which one?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, all of them. I couldn't pull them into any group.
Yeah, so mastery would be your mastery, what you've done for 10,000 hours, what you've dedicated your life to. So what you sell is you master in, I guess that mastery is all around primary production.
Yeah.
So your mastery is in primary production. It's actually working the land to something that the rest of Australia can utilise.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. What are your gifts? What are you good at? What did you used to do as a kid?
Sort of sports.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have a very physical. You have to have a very physicality when you're in regional and agri biz. You know that. So I would say your gifts there is sport. You're great at sport, great at probably team playing as well.
Yeah.
Have to have that in spades. You're probably really good with your hands, and also you're probably good with being resourceful, thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Making do with not much when you have to get shit done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I reckon your gifts as a kid all the way through, you've got a great gift of resilience.
Yeah.
So there's a few.
Yeah. It was it's hard to put it.
And then your passions would be, you know, you're passionate about agriculture.
Yep.
You'd be passionate also about living beings, about animals. You'd be super passionate about the treatment of them as well.
Yeah, yeah, I'm big on caregiving.
Absolutely. And most dairy farmers I work with, and I do work with many. So I go to AgFest and Beef Week and all of that. So working with women who are on the land, it is the hardest to go, I just do what I do. I pull people around the kitchen table and I need to get shit done. It's like, no, you don't. And all of us can take from this. It's not just doing this for Beck, but what excites you as well, what you love, is probably hospitality as well. Making sure that everyone feels welcome on your land and your farm, making sure that anyone who works on farm is welcome, anyone managing anything is welcome. You're one big family. So your passion would be community, Beck.
Okay. Yeah,
you'd be super passionate about community. I know that because you're a team player and sport is all around community. So it's the footy clubs, it's the RSLs, it's the banding together. It's that what excites you is doing anything for the community as well.
Yeah, I just got roped into being on the PNC today.
Yep. And it's not roped in. That's actually what excites you. It's bringing that community spirit around because you've got resilience and you're a team player. You're also good at caregiving. Doesn't matter if it's your cows. Doesn't matter if and that resourcefulness, whether you've had to, you know, double calf, whether you're milking twice, you know, whatever you have to do to get the job done, there, you know, that's what excites you as well, I'm sure. And the problem you solve. So you'd be, your problem would be around resourcefulness. So the problem you solve or what the world needs from you is the way that you think, Beck. You think outside of the square to make things happen from very little to make a difference to all Australians.
Okay.
And it's up to you to tell that story as well, that storytelling for us, because the whole thing about you, Beck, is I go to Woolies and I'll make a price point decision. If I haven't heard your story and I don't know what you do and the care you give, I'll be a price point decision maker. If I know your story, what's in it, and I know Beck, by God, I'm going to pay 3 times as much to know that you're not going to be skimmed from farm door to my door.
Yeah.
I'll have the least amount of skimming in your bucket and I'll pay more. And that's the connection storytelling has.
That's fantastic.
We don't have time to do everyone, but I hope that unlocks most people. So we're at 20 past. What I want to share with you is the opportunity of what we call the source map, or really the value map. Now, this is where blankety blanks, you get to put that little piece and work on it and work it up. I'm going to ask Tracy if I've got her permission to share her source map. Yep, good. Okay, what excites you, what problem you solve, what talents and gifts, and what you sell. What everyone will find here, and you've got a blank one to do it in. Oh, beautiful blank one. What you'll find is what excites you, your passion, and the problem you solve in the world is your purpose on fire. But it doesn't make you money, usually. Anything that excites you and your talents, you're a great team player and excites you to keep the community together, that's your passion. But again, it's not going to bring the money in. So when you put your talents together, your gifts and what you sell, well, that's your job. That's actually what you're doing, the application of your job. When you mix what you sell, your mastery, and the problem you solve in the world, that's the real business you're in. Then the purpose, the passion, your job role, and the business you're in all comes together and it reduces to one word. Now, Beck, for you, your one word, the source of everything you do, can be to share resourcefulness or give resourcefulness. Or it could be 2 words. It usually is 2 words. It can be community resourcefulness, making sure that everybody feels that they can stand on their own 2 feet no matter what. They've got an internal locus of control that they can't manage what happens around them, but by hell, they can manage how they respond and react to it and how resourceful they can be. If you're not on the land and I'm not on the land, you just don't know what resourceful is. We haven't probably, many of us haven't dug that deep. Then you've got the ability to look at what's in between your passion and your role. What's in between purpose and the business you're in. And that is something that you activate in the world and something you elevate. So for instance, I'm in brand strategy. I'm also in leadership strategy. I do this work quite deeply. And so my source word is energize. Whatever I do, however I do it, whether I'm working, whether I'm at a wedding, bar mitzvah, dinner party, I energize people back into their reality, into their jobs, into their businesses, into their source. I activate. So what I do is I unlock, I create, and I energize people back into their businesses and their lives. So I actually activate an unlocking, which we're doing now, and I elevate creation of storytelling to energize people. So that's simply how I get my bridge of what I do in the world. Can we get to that today? No, that's a bit more work. But I would like to share with you, I think the amazing Sam has put this in. Sammy, if I can just have a link to traces, that would be great. So you get to do this and you get to put your words in here. What do we do with it then? Simply blankety blank. This is a woman I worked with last week, and with her permission, she's let me share this. She works in Victorian government to influence people in the government that are making decisions for all Australians. So it actually comes out into your promise. So when you get these words, your promise starts forming. Your promise is really simple. Everyone can give it a red hot go and share it with Tracy and myself. Not now, you'll get to work on this. It's very simple. To, by, so that. Does it work perfectly all the time? Nah, nothing does. But it's a great guide. So when I worked with Jackie, on this side, you've got to influence change by normalizing tough conversations and activating social impact so that the collective voice of justice is heard. That's her promise to the world. When she turned up on my doorstep, started working with me, I asked her what she did. She said, I'm in the public service. I'm a communication strategist. And this is what she is now. It's totally changed how she shows up in her work and the meaning her work has for her now. It's not a job. It's work that matters. So everyone here, your promise will turn in your job into work that matters. You'll have that thread running through it, won't they, Trace? As you do. And so I've just got, thank you for that, Sammy. You're going to see behind the scenes here on some of Tracy's work. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to go straight to your source map, if that's okay, Trace. All right. So Tracy's. What Tracy's, and you'll see this is a little bit different. We've had one evolution on the source map, but it's still simply the same. So her gifts and talents is connecting empathetically. I'm sure that everyone will agree that Tracy connects empathetically. The problem she solves in the world is empowerment for women. What she masters in is economics and finance. That was the key. What she sells is education, education, communication, programs, events, coaching, and consulting. What we worked out her source was, is from economics to empowerment was very simple. Economic empowerment. For women, no, for everyone. If we look at her passion, it sits in here, her purpose sits in here. We'll actually put this in the pack for you, so you will have a living, breathing example. She activates people's mindsets and she elevates people's skill set. So she elevates, activates mindset, elevates skill set to offer economic empowerment for all. Sounds more interesting than a financial planner. And it is. It's actually bringing her purpose to life. So that's what everyone's got the ability to do. I'll just pop back into here. I know I've taken a bit more time, but we've got some time for Q&A. And I've also got here where you use your value story. So as we bring a story to life, there's lots of places that this story can live and breathe. And you've got some amazing storytellers in your cohort there as well. So on that note, I'd love to throw over to anyone and everyone for a little bit of Q&A for the next couple of minutes, and making sure that if you do have a question, pop it in the chat. If you want me to come back and answer it, I'm more than happy to.
Okay, ladies, this is your chance. Do not miss out on this opportunity. I can tell you firsthand. Fire away.
This is like set of steak knife stuff.
It's great. It's great.
Thanks, Jackie. And it's a work in progress. It does take a couple of weeks to work through this. These frameworks are proven. As I said, I've taken mostly women, but about 6,000 people through this around the globe. So it does really get you thinking. It gets you a bit itchy as well. You'll come back and go, oh, actually, and something will blindside you on an idle Tuesday afternoon. I promise you. Go, oh, that's the business I'm really in. Think about what people are asking you. No problem, Michelle, at all. Everyone will get the pack here, and I just want everyone to be thinking about, if there was one aha moment, one thing you now know that you will never unknow, just think for a moment before we end, what is that out of this session? Just that one lump of gold, that one gem that you will put in your career pocket and take with you, with the power of all the women here. Awesome. No questions. I guess there's a bit to work through. I'm here on tap. You've got in your pack a little bit about me and how you find me as well. But Tracy's got a link into me. Maybe I'll come back in and we can do a follow-up session. I'd be really happy to do that as you work through your source maps as well. It is part of a bigger program, so I am happy to give it away for everyone here. Just know that it is for the WOW women. Taken out of context, it's a little bit hard for other people to try and work on. Do it with your family, friends, do it with them, become their coach, your team. Yeah, come back and let me know if you need any further help. Oh, great, Rachel and Deb.
Yeah,
no problem.
Great
Tracy,
comments.
you want to
there.
say some closing remarks?
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, Michelle. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah,
So Trace, as we leave, did you want to say some parting words?
Yeah, I do. And I just want to respond to Deb's comment there. I found that extraordinary as well, Deb, because I always thought I was passionate about until Nick was able to identify the differences. And that was really, that just anchored everything. It really helped me separate that. And it was a bit like, huh? What do you mean? It was that sort of moment. So that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for the hour. It is just, every time I listen to you, I learn something new. It's brilliant and I love it. So thank you for gifting your time to us and sharing the workbook. I'm sure that's, well, I know it's priceless. So make sure, ladies, that you actually go through that, and you can't unhear or unlearn what you've just learned. That's the thing. You're going to go away from this and it's going to play in your mind. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can unearth a few things, and you can feel a little bit like things haven't landed, and that's okay. It is a work in progress. I work on mine consistently, but I'm always here, as Trace knows. And thank you for the opportunity. This is my life's work. I love what I do. And so for the opportunity to show up here with some incredible women, I've heard a lot about you, all of you. It's just been a real absolute privilege, and thanks for the hour times 17. That's almost half a working week that we've spent together today. I don't take that lightly, so thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And is there any final questions, final words from anyone before we finish up? Okay, all right. Thank you all for attending. And it does get a bit messy, but that's okay. Messy is good. It means things are moving.
You know what? It means we're human.
Yeah.
Humans are messy and we're unpredictable and we don't know. The one thing is, don't be hard on yourself. I can't do this to myself. We can't tickle ourselves. So Beck, it might have just fallen off like meat off a bone for me to do it for you. It's really bloody hard to do it for yourself. It's hard to get out of our own way, and we just don't. Do you know that we never ever in our whole life see ourselves? It's only a reflection in the mirror. We're the only people who can never see ourselves, truly. It's really fascinating. Everyone else can see us physically.
I see another moment now. You've just said that.
We never, ever see ourselves in real life. So we can't do this properly. We can give it a red hot go. We almost get there. But just always remember that we do need other people's opinions and help sometimes, because we actually never see ourselves.
And I can attest to that. Working with Nick, I couldn't have done it on my own. There was no possible way, because you just need that objectivity and clarity from someone else to say, well, it's obvious, it's this. And how many times have you experienced that in life where you just think, well, how did you see that? Well, I guess like you just said, because I can't see myself.
Because I'm not looking in a mirror at you. That's the thing. Everything else we project out comes back. It's always a projection and back. And once we're in that loop, once we're in patterns, once we're ingrained in our thought patterns from, being little as well, all we put out and all we get is like looking in the mirror every day. It's really hard to break some of those patterns or the ways of thinking. When someone else shows up and goes, oh yeah, that's just blah, 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 you go, oh, how did I not see that? Because I'm looking in the mirror and I'm used to what I'm seeing. But when someone else can come and actually see you, they're the only people that can see you. It's a little bit of a mind bender, but that idea has stuck with me for about 10 years or so, and really set me up for success, going, I don't know, I'll ask for feedback because I can't see myself.
Yeah, that's powerful. So for anyone that is thinking about inquiring how to work with you, what would be the next step? If they wanted to have a chat, what can they do, Nick?
Yeah, well, they can just get in touch, Nicole at Brand True North. You will get myself or Sam, and we do a 3-week program called Brand Your Way. This is the heart of the program. So the program goes through your origin story, goes through this deeply. We find out and articulate your value through your source. We create a methodology for you, and we put it all together in a brand vision. And that's you as a professional. So it's a thought leader brand vision or a professional person. And you actually get what I would be giving any brand on this planet as a vision to then go out and articulate their brand in the world, what the value is, who's buying it, what are you selling, who's buying it, how are you articulating it. We do all that in 3 weeks. It's actually 4 because we do a graduation. And then I think we're full for the next 2 or 3. I think our next intake is in about May. So we don't even have a list for that because we've got 2 lists for the ones before it. It could actually be end of May, but Sam will take your name and let you know. It's fantastic to go through, or you can do it one-on-one with me.
As I have done. So
yeah, as Trace, you get me to do a lot more of the work.
I can certainly attest to that. That's brilliant. But either way, it's brilliant. Thank you, Nicole, so much.
You're welcome. And I would love to come back if everyone does want a half hour of power of going, here's what I've got. What do you think? So let me know.
That would be amazing. We will take you up on that offer now that you've said. That'd be lovely.
And I can't wait to see everyone in person at the cocktails.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
That's my wow dream for this year. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.
Enjoy finding your source. See you.
Bye-bye.
Mm.